spice?
Hi.
Do you have the spice? Chat. Where's my spice? Frank, charge them extra. Charge them
Hey.
extra for the spice.
Hey, that's the power, you all.
Is it?
That's the power.
What is going on? That's right. It's it. That's it. What is going on? All you sci-fi movie maniacs out there. It's your boy Phat Samurai Guy hanging out again with the master of remaster, Frank Djeng, in the house. What is going on, brother? Yes.
Oh, man.
Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Yes.
Such an honor. When you asked me, do I want to do this, episode of going do the spoiler thing with Dune, I was so excited. This is just an honor, man.
Yeah.
Thank you
it's
for
always
having me.
It's an honor to have you, man. And we're hanging out here with the Movie Dojo Army and everybody watching. We got, and I'm hearing feedback. I don't know why I'm hearing feedback. Okay, feedback is gone. All right, cool. Michael Shelton in the house. Oh, there we go. Dune t-shirt from Frank. What's going on, Michael? We got Heather in the house. Adam Evans. We got Sylvanie in the house. The Collector #1. Let's go. Andre Atkins, Patty Harvey, Diego, Justin, Chance. All the legends showing up to hear us talk about the newest movie. That's right, from Denis Villeneuve. Huh? Did I get it? No?
Oui. No, oui.
Okay.
C'est bon.
Okay. Vive l'ami. Yeah, ho, ho, ho. I think I botched it last time for our Blade Runner 2049, man. I was like, what is going on? I botched that. I was like, Denis Villeneuve. All right. Directed by the man, the myth, the legend. Stars Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, Stellan Skarsgård, Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, Dave Bautista. I mean, this cast is insane. It is insane. But let's go over the plot synopsis really quick. It featured adaptation of Frank Herbert's science fiction novel about the son of a noble family entrusted with the protection of the most valuable asset and most vital element in the galaxy, the spice. That's right, spicy. Yes, spice, baby. That's right. So this is again This is going to be another fun movie discussion. Don't forget, chat. This is spoiler discussion. So just giving you guys a warning if you weren't aware. But this is going to be another funny movie discussion video because, again, I'm coming I'm coming to this as a casual, right? And I'm going to have my interpretation of what I watched, and then you talk about yours. So, have you read the original book?
Oh, yeah, of course. I read the original book. I actually have two copies. I have the older paperback version, and I bought this version. This came out, I think, a few years ago, 2000. Actually, quite a while back. But anyway, and they had another new version just came out from the same publisher with the movie, poster cover, which I'm probably going to get to because I just love it so much. So, but anyway, this was the version I had. This is probably the best paperback version until this new movie tied-in version came out, which has the movie poster on the cover.
Yeah,
it's the same size. You notice it's actually a larger size than a typical paperback, but this actually makes for very good reading. But anyway, I read the book. I actually read the book. I thought
the book would be bigger.
David Lynch. Well, well, there's 6 books total. This is just the first book.
Oh my God! Okay, never mind. Okay.
This is 895 pages. But this is the first book out of 6. Right? So anyway. And the movie supposedly only cover. The movie supposedly, if they're gonna make 3 movies eventually, it's just gonna cover the first 2 books. This one and Children of Doom, which is the second book. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that later. So and then of course, I actually read the book after I seen David Lynch version.
Right.
I missed this in the theater at the time because you're probably too young to remember this. But Siskel and Ebert, Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel.
They loved the movie, right? They loved it.
Oh my God! They called this the Turkey of the Year. I know. This was the Turkey of the Year, 1984. They said this was the worst movie, and when they review it, it was they trash it so much that I actually got scared, and then I'm not seeing this in the theater, which is ironic because my younger sister, she was dating some dude, and on their first date, they went to see this movie,
Right,
and she
right.
hated it. But it was like ironic that she saw it and I never saw it. But anyway, so yeah, so and I saw the miniseries, of course, the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries, which was actually quite good because they did two. Remember that they did the Dune that covered the entire first book, and then they also did the Children of Dune, which covered the second book.
Right.
So that was a bit more, comprehensive.
Okay, so the series was good too then.
Series was good. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Solid.
special effects.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the special effects on that.
Do you agree with this assessment? Do you agree with this assessment? There's fans of Dune that have seen this movie, and of course, there are a lot of them love it, just like like you love this movie. But
Have I said that yet? No, I'm just
I don't
kidding.
know. I'm assuming you love it. I don't know. We might be. This might be a trap, chat. He may have hated it. He's got we got all the Dune books to the side. We just don't see it. It's going to be a bonfire later. No, I'm just kidding. But they said that they're still fans of the '80s one because it's like, yeah, it's messy, but it's fun.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's still fun. They still really like it because it's fun. It's '80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's over the top. So I guess there's still entertainment to be had for the original.
Oh yeah,
And I remember I'm an '80s kid, and for somehow I missed the original Dune. And I remember what you said. Don't watch it, but watch this new Dune. So that way, this is my first experience
right.
into the Dune lore. Yeah. So let's go ahead and go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely agree. No, to enjoy this film to its fullest, you really should go in completely fresh. Not even have read the. I mean, I know some people like FJ. FJ loved the film, and
Right.
He'll probably disagree with me. He said, it's okay if you've seen the Lynch version. I kind of disagree. I think by seeing this already, in the Lynch version, and then reading the book and the miniseries, it did spoil some enjoyment for me because you knew what's coming. And
right.
It's not the film. It's not bad. I mean, it's not good. Okay. Spoiler alert. I love this fucking movie.
Storyline wise, what's around the corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But like I said, spoiler alert. I love this film. I think this film is magnificent. But again, because I've read the book, I've seen the Lynch version, I've seen the miniseries. When things come out, I say, oh yeah. I know what's going to come up, what's going to happen. I know what's going to come up.
Right.
So the enjoyment became solely on how Denis Villeneuve is going to execute it in his version. Right. I already knew.
Was that true that Denny was a little surprised that he got the green light to do this project because of Blade Runner 2049 didn't do that well? Was that true? Is that true?
This is okay. This is my interpretation of this.
Okay.
I think Warner Brothers got cold feet because of the lower than expected box office for Blade Runner 2049. So they basically told Denis, "We'll let you make Dune. We know you're probably like the best guy out there to do this, based on what you've done with Arrival and Blade Runner. Right? So we'll let you do this, but we'll only let you make the first one for now. If it makes money, we'll let you make the sequel." And my feeling of this was they really should have shot this back to back, just like Lord of the Rings.
They should have, just to
they should have. I think Warner really, in some way, Warner kind of mistreated and in a way kind of betrayed the cast and crew, because they are relying on the box office results to decide whether we're going to make the sequel. And
even though it's on HBO Max.
Right, exactly. And
so it's like...
Right, it's on HBO Max. And I was really glad that even with the film on HBO Max, it did well at the box office. Right, it made 40.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was. It made 40.1 million. It was a little bit higher than the expectation. They're expecting like 30 to 35 because of HBO Max.
Okay.
But then you remember, this is a long movie too. You can't have that many shows a day because the movie.
That's right.
The movie is only 6 minutes shorter than No Time to Die. It's 133 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes almost. Right. So, but then. It did well. It made 40.1 million. Great.
Oh, good.
It did well in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX. You have to see this in IMAX. Bar none. I mean, forget other formats. Just see this in IMAX.
I'm tempted to check it out in IMAX now.
Yes, you must. And I might go see it again in IMAX instead of I always want to try to watch it when there's a 3D version. But this one has a 3D version. But I said, you know what? I might see this again in IMAX. But again, going back to the Warner Brothers situation, they kind of right now there's no part 2. It's not in production. And we don't know when it's going to be in production. And by the time let's say tomorrow Warner Brothers say, okay, good, box office is good, we're going to make part 2. I mean,
Right.
how much longer do we have to wait? You have to assemble all this cast. You have to go back to Morocco. You have to go back to United Arab Emirates to shoot all those desert scenes. How long is it going
Yeah.
to take? 2 years, 3 years? Are we willing to wait another 2 or 3 years for the next film? I mean, so in a
Right.
way, I felt that Warner really, it backstab on them.
Yeah, kind of dropped the ball a little bit there.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So, see, that's another reason. I know we're going to get to the movie, guys. Don't worry about it. We're going to get to it. But another reason. Are we guaranteed a sequel? Or is it definitely coming? Because that's going to be a problem if we never get one.
Based on what happened in the past few days,
okay,
I am pretty sure there will be a part 2. I think there's several reasons for it. One, obviously the better than expected box office. It didn't bomb. Right. The one thing is already good that it didn't bomb, right? And then to have it being number one in the box office, and it also got good words of mouth, and also for Oscar convention, which we'll talk about later. So I think at this point, I think at this point, Warner Brothers will be stupid not to make part 2. Really stupid,
right?
With all these critical praises going on. With all these,
like you said, it did well financially as well.
And remember, the film came out overseas more than a month ago, and I was like bitching about it. It's like, man, we gotta wait 5 weeks, and I mean they got to see it in mid-September. We waited 5 more weeks to see it, so you already have this foreign overseas box office, and for some reason, sci-fi films somehow tend to do better overseas than the U.S. for some reason.
Okay,
with the exception of like Star Wars and stuff, but I mean, I'm talking about hardcore sci-fi. So so they already had a head start on the film, so they knew it is actually doing not too bad overseas. So the
getting some positive feedback. Okay,
exactly, a positive feedback. So the fact that it's now doing well here is great. And again, I mean, like we Asians talk about saving face. I mean, they have to save face. They have to make part 2. Come on, they can't go back now. Yeah. So.
Well, from what all you just told me right now, it's you kind of, I don't have to do this. Fingers crossed. I'm a little bit more like positive about it now that 2 eventually is going to come. So that's good. I'm glad you told me what you told me there. Mm-hmm. So the movie is doing well critically and financially. That's good. So that's good because you can't just leave this movie, man. Like it's just. Could you imagine Fellowship of the Ring coming out, and then Frodo and Sam get in the boat, and then just go off, and it goes to credits, and that's it. Thanks for coming, folks.
Oh yeah, I mean,
hey.
So like,
that's it.
For those who haven't seen this film, spoiler, this is part 1 only because, when the moment you see the title Dune, it's at part 1.
Right.
So, I mean, unless you've been following the saga of this film, the making of saga of this film, you might be shocked to see the words part 1 appearing on the screen. It's like, what do you mean part 1?
Right.
And you might even think, okay, well, I guess, part 2 will come out next year, just like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Well,
so how many are they just going straight to part 2 and we're calling it a day, or they're going to do as many parts as they can?
Okay, so Monsieur Villeneuve wanted to make 2 more. He wanted to make
trilogy.
Right, part 2 has to be made. You got to finish the book, man. Right now, you stop right at the middle of the book, sort of like near middle 2/3 of the book. So you got but he also wanted to make Children of Dune, which in itself is also actually a pretty good book. It followed like 100 years, a few hundred years after what happened in the first book. So it's a great story. Second book is a great story, and so he wanted to make 2 more.
Right.
Yeah.
Copy that. All right, so let's finally get to the movie here and let's talk a little bit about it. Cinematography is insane.
Oh, great Fraser!
It's insane.
Amazing.
I mean, you are literally in another world, which is I'm sure what Denny was going for.
Right.
But first of all, before I go into the movie with you, I was getting challenges.
It's gonna be good.
I was getting challenges. Chat, if everybody's listening right now. How many times will Phat Samurai Guy fall asleep during the movie?
Oh, come on.
Oh, man.
Did you see it on HBO Max, or did you go see it in a movie theater?
I had no choice but to watch it on HBO Max because we were out of the town. We were out of the town on the weekend, and I had only a small amount of time to watch it. But besides after watching it on HBO Max, I'd like to go see it again in IMAX now.
Yes, you have to.
But how many times did Phat Samurai Guy fall asleep? Zero. I was not bored at all through this movie. I stayed awake. I was paying attention. And, with all this lore and exposition and stuff like that, especially a casual watching this, there is the chance of them being lost. And, different strokes for different folks, right? Right? As much as me and you enjoy Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, and as much as we fanboyed about those movies, it's not for everyone.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
Like, it's not for everyone, and we totally understand that, right? If people don't like it, it's perfectly fine, And there's
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, there's a lot of people that I've came across that they were just like, dude, I couldn't even finish it. This movie, they were like, I fell asleep like 3 times. It took me 3 days to get through it. I'm so bored. I just can't handle it. Hey, it's not for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's certainly more like Arrival and Blade Runner 2049 in it being a blend of like mainstream and kind of artsy elements, right? But that's what he is. That's what Denis. He makes films that are part mainstream, part artsy. But this one, compared with Arrival and Blade Runner 2049, is definitely more user friendly. Is more linear in terms of narratives. Arrival, back and forth stuff. But it's more linear in narrative. And I like how he builds the blocks. Like he took time building up the relationships between the houses and the characters. I think he started early on because he knew, okay, I have like this much time. I have 2 hours 40 minutes. Let me put some more time on establishing this family because we're gonna be spending time with this family in peril once they get to Arrakis, right? So I like the fact he felt that it's important that we establish this relationship between not just Duke Leto and Jessica, of course, husband and wife, but also obviously Jessica and Paul, because that plays a major part later on in the film. So he took time with that, and which is different from what Lynch did. Now, Lynch can just boom, 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 put everything right to you. 4 houses, House Atreides, Harkonnen, like DD Prime, all that crap. All these planet names, and Emperor, no universe, blah, blah, blah. So if you're not following it closely, it's like you lost. But here, no. Here, I did feel there's kind of like almost like a slightly Game of Thrones feel to it. The way he built up the blocks, he put up all these, he established the characters, built up the relationship, blah blah blah. Now, obviously, some characters still kind of got, they got sidetracked or they were underutilized, so to speak. Which we'll go over later. But I thought he did a great job establishing this family, establishing the kind of situation they're going to be in, the kind of predicament they're going to be in once they get to Arrakis. So I think he did a great job setting that up.
Yeah. But I didn't fall asleep. I made it.
That's the one thing. I go to see movies regularly, right?
Yeah.
So last time when I saw this, I have not seen some audiences being that involved in watching a film for a long time. As I was watching the film, my eyes kind of look at the side, and there were several other moviegoers. They were sitting up like this, like they're glued to the screen, right? They're sitting up. Yeah. They're not sitting back, they're like this. They're like really into it, especially some of the more female audiences, maybe because of for Timothy. But yeah, I haven't seen some audiences being that involved in watching the film in a long time, and I was actually quite surprised.
Interesting. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's a good sign.
It is a good sign.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that's clear for everybody watching. Different strokes for different folks, man. If you didn't like it, it's perfectly fine.
This is not action. If you think it's
not action. And I was expecting a slow burn. I was expecting a slow burn. A lot of character development. So I kind of knew what to expect, but I wasn't let down when there was actually action on screen. I actually enjoyed the action set pieces, even though there's not a lot of them. I thought they were very well shot. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. And this is coming from the guy who has a Miami Connection poster in the background. There you go, guys. So you can see right now, Samurai enjoys a lot of different genres. There you go. If I can enjoy schlock. Right. I can enjoy Dune. It's all good. I mean, what did you think of this? What did you think of the soundtrack?
Oh God, soundtrack and sound were both astonishing in
Yeah,
IMAX. Astonishing. I think. I mean, I know we're going to talk about this. This will be a definite Oscar contender, not just for visual effects,
yeah,
cinematography, but also for sound and the score. I mean, the sound is just unbelievably great in IMAX. It was not like boom, 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 bombastic. It's just like full volume, but it
yeah,
just but you can hear all the details and stuff, and it's just amazing. And Hans Zimmer's score. I mean,
yeah,
I read people complaining that, oh, it's just a bunch of noises. It's not a bunch of noises. Hans Zimmer's score is not a bunch of noises. He's
no,
building,
yeah,
granted, I study music. I had a minor degree in music, so I pay attention to score quite a
yeah,
little bit more
yeah.
than your
Hmm.
normal people. But he was building blocks. He was building the melody. He was building the tension, the rhythm. So by the
Right.
time the film gets to where it got to, the
Yeah,
music came on. You can hear all the elements come together, and those are not noises. Those are really just like
yeah,
harmonies. Yeah,
yeah,
harmony.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Harmony. I really like the Hans Zimmer score, but what's interesting about it is it sounds like a Hans Zimmer score, and then it doesn't.
exactly.
It's
Yes.
unique
Yes,
that
he
way.
incorporated.
It's yeah,
He incorporated lots of these Middle Eastern elements, which befits the film. I mean, some people say, "Well, why is this film so Middle Eastern?" Like the talk and the use of terms, and the he's not, I mean, I'm not going to be able to pronounce all that
it's
stuff,
fine.
but
It's all right. Yeah.
he's that or Gal or something. But I mean,
Oh,
the film. I mean,
the throat
it's
singing. Yeah.
all yeah. I know, but it's all from the book. Everything is
Right.
from the book. All the names,
Right.
like Shah Abdul, Muad'Dib, everything is from the book. And
Yeah.
then Lynch also used them in the film. So, I mean, and of course, it's a desert. I mean, obviously, that was kind of like in the inspiration too. You in the desert terrain. Obviously, Frank Herbert was saying, oh, Middle East. So yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure some people might get confused by all the different names. I mean, the Jesuit, the sisters, what's it
Right.
called? Yeah, the Paul Atreides, and then the
Right.
Jesuit, the Jesuit sisters. So yeah, so the names
Yeah.
might put off some people, but
Right.
again, faithful adaptation is all from the book.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, but it's sci-fi, so it's fine.
yeah, it's sci-fi. Yeah.
You're gonna have odd, interesting, strange names that are
Hmm.
all over the place. It's
Hmm.
sci-fi.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna click on some photos here. I actually, believe it or not, I took 4 pages of notes while watching the movie, but I don't want to
Wow,
keep you here. I don't want to keep you here for like 3 hours.
that's
So
fine.
what I'm
I
gonna
have two
do is,
pages.
well, I write big, but
You should see my audio commentary notes.
oh, I know, I bet, I bet. But I'll click the images here, and you can just
Okay.
talk along, because I kind of have it in order.
Okay.
Talk
Sure.
along a little bit of what's going on here, okay?
Okay.
And that's how we'll go through the movie, and then by all means spoil and talk about all your favorite scenes and stuff like that.
Sure.
But yeah, dude, cinematography's
Oh
nuts.
God. Yes.
It's
Yes. This
nuts.
is fucking nuts.
So let's talk about what's happening here. This is the beginning of the movie.
Well, these are the Harkonnen spaceships, right? So they're here. They arrive in. I mean, they talk about the beginning, I guess, when they arrived to Arrakis and then kind of like invaded the planet and took over the
Right.
spice production. But yeah, but I'm glad you
And they
showed that.
got
Mhm.
called away
They got
all of
called
a
away by the
sudden.
emperor. But the emperor,
Mm-hmm.
which surprising, I was surprised. For those of you who've seen the Lynch movie, the emperor was in the very first scene. Yet here, his name was mentioned, but he's never. There's certain characters which we'll go over
Yeah.
that were pretty prominent in the Lynch version, but not
Okay.
here, at least not in part one. Emperor is definitely one of them. So his full name is the Emperor of the Known Universe, right?
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. But yeah,
but
you're right. They didn't show him, which is good. Makes him mysterious.
which is good, mysterious. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that was so. In the very beginning, they talk about how they, I mean, they call it Harkonnen. I think in the Lynch version, it's
Yes.
called Harkonnen.
Right.
Um, the Harkonnen house, with the Baron, the army came in and kind of took over Arrakis, and then, like you said, and like they were ruling for like 80 years or something, and then they were called away.
Right.
They were called away, and House Atreides were told to take over Arrakis, and that's why they ended
Right.
up going to the planet.
Right. And during all this time, during their 80-year reign, that's when the Fremen were
Oh
created.
yes, Yes.
and they basically adapted to the desert
Right.
and the being around the spice. That's why their eyes are blue.
Right, as a rule, right,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so they basically kind of, your revolutionary rebel fighters, protector of the
Yeah.
planet. If you really think about it, they really kind of like they were waiting for a chance. They're waiting for the Messiah. Remember, they're waiting for the Muad'Dib
Right.
to lead them to victory, to lead them to take back the planet.
Mm-hmm. So I know this book predates Star Wars and all this other
Of course,
uh, sci-fi franchises we have out there. I'm assuming the voice is the Force, basically, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, the book is,
Okay.
we have to keep in mind the book was written in the '60s. Frank Herbert wrote it
Right.
in the '60s. So there's a lot of pseudo spiritual elements in the book, which the
Right.
film really did a pretty good job touching on it with these, like I must not fear, for fear is a mind killer. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
The voiceover, the
I
inner
was hearing
monologue.
Yoda, man. I was hearing
You know,
Yoda.
you're hearing the inner monologue,
Yeah.
which Lynch actually took it to the next level. There's much more of these inner monologues in Lynch film than this
Oh.
one, but he sometimes did it in kind of like a campy way. That
Yeah.
if now you look at it, you feel, oh, this is camp. But
Right.
here I think compared to Lynch version, he did it was rather restrained in terms of the use of inner monologue. I think Denis used it just enough so that it's gonna affect what's going to happen later on. Because really the inner monologue is kind of like vision, right? It kind of goes with the vision that he sees in his dreams and stuff. So
Right.
yeah, I'm sure, like the Lynch film, some of these inner monologue, you're going to rehear them later on as he encountered the actual situation, right? Right now, most
Yeah.
of it is in his dream, in his mind, and then once he sees the actual, like when he sees Shani, when he's Zendaya character, when she
Right.
turned around and he remembers she said Paul, all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see more of that in part 2 for sure.
What's interesting about his dreams slash visions is that they show a glimpse of what the future could be,
Yes.
not what the future is. Because that
Yes.
threw me off when we get to the finale, when we get to the end fight,
Yes.
and the vision of the character before that. I was
Yes.
so confused, and I was like, oh, I get it now. It's just
Yes.
a possibility of what could
It's a
happen.
dream. Right. No,
Right.
the dream is a dream is not a. I mean, what he's dreaming may not be what's going to happen exactly. Like the
Right.
guy, like the guy who we ended up killing in the desert in the Fremen when he.
Yeah.
Remember, in his dream, he was giving him advice and all that stuff, but in reality, he killed him.
Right.
He killed him. And also, remember that shot of him and Shani on that spaceship, and then
Yeah.
everybody down below bowing or worshiping. So that again, that is this vision of him becoming the leader, right? I mean, which we're supposed to see right here exactly. We're supposed to see this in part 2 where he will become the Messiah, he will become the Muad'Dib, and then Shani is going to be by his side. But will
Right.
this be a reality? Is this what's going to happen? Is this what's going to happen? We don't know. We don't know yet.
Right.
This is what he's in his mind.
I don't know, man. From these images, this is looking like he just joined the dark side, right?
There you go.
I don't know, man. They don't look too caring.
There you
You
go.
know, it's just
Yeah.
they're letting the dark. They're going to the dark
But,
side.
yeah. I
but,
really like I like how Zendaya is much featured much more prominently in this film than poor Sean Young in the Lynch version. Because in the Lynch version, Shani was like just a side character, like nobody.
Right.
Whereas in the book and in apparently in this film, she'll be much more prominent, especially
Good. All
part 2.
right.
So that's why another spoiler alert for those of you who want to go see this movie because Zendaya, Zendaya is in there. She's from Oakland. Hey, Oakland. Hey,
Yeah.
You're expecting a lot of her, being featured in this film. You're gonna be pretty disappointed because she's
Right.
only in this for a few moments in the few scenes. Yet her contribution in this film is very significant.
Yeah. Right. Mostly appears through visions until she really appears later in the movie.
Right,
Definitely.
much later.
But yeah, I like how they get into the lore a little bit. The Shai-Hulud.
Shai-Hulud, yes,
of the worms. I think that's a metal band, by the way. I'm gonna have to buy some albums. But the Eyes of Abad, that's what they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so the spice is the sacred hallucinogen, which
Yes.
preserves life and health, which
Mm-hmm.
is what they harvest. But most importantly, for the Imperium, spice is used for navigation and
Exactly.
safe interstellar travel.
Exactly.
So it's literally the most valuable substance in the universe.
Yes, because it allows them to travel without moving. The Lynch version talk a little bit more about like they call it folder space. It's basically they they travel without moving and then from one place to another. Here you can kind of
Right.
see there's a again you never saw the Guild Navigator, which is another prominent figure in the novel and in Lynch film. You only saw
Right.
the mechanism where they travel. You saw that like a giant foreskin.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saw this long
Yeah.
giant foreskin where supposedly you see those spaceships going in from
Yeah.
from the left, and then by the time they come out from the right, they're like galaxies away. That's the
Right.
idea,
Right.
right? I
Right.
mean, that's what that whole thing is trying to convey. Basically, they were like whereas in Lynch version, they go into this thing and then they just stay there, and then when they come out, they're already at somewhere else. Here is like this tunnel is almost like if you're a fan of like the Japanese cartoon cat, Doraemon, he has this door. Like you open the door, you go in, you're at another place entirely. So this is like the same concept, which I like. I like the how they portray how they travel in time using spice, of course. But yeah,
right. I like that scene where we get an introduction. We're in Caladan, the house of Atreides,
right?
And Paul's sitting there with his mother Jessica, and they're doing the Bean Gesserit.
The boxing?
Is that how you say it? Is that how you say it? Bean Gesserit?
Bean Gesserit,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's why I got you here, man. You got to help me out with it. And she's trying to train him on the voice.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying it wrong. You're doing it wrong. He like totally botches it. Yeah. But yeah, let's keep it going here. I'm enjoying talking about this stuff. I know, right? I enjoyed this training sequence here.
Yeah. This is almost like an exact replica of the fight between Kyle MacLachlan and Patrick Stewart in the Lynch version. Of course,
really?
It's almost like there are certain parts in this film which is almost like an exact replica of the Lynch film. This is one of them. And then, of course, there's all these dialogue, especially in the worm sequence when they go in, when they saw the worm come out. The dialogue is almost like word by word. I mean, of course, they're all from the book. But what I'm saying is, like, for those of you who've seen the Lynch version, that's Lynch used that too. But yeah, going back to that fight, the training, so if you watch the Lynch version, it's almost the same, the same way they carry this out. And they even use the same thing, like the blade, the slow blade will penetrate the shield, and that, he got him by the neck, but then Gurney had him by the stomach. Same thing. Lynch has it too. So that was almost like an exact replica. And which I'm glad you brought, you showed that shot, because I felt that certain characters were shortchanged. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Certain characters were shortchanged in this film, and Josh Brolin was definitely one of them. He should have been more. I think we should be able to see more of him in the film. And Jason Momoa, I mean, he's awesome as Duncan. Duncan,
he's great.
Yeah, he's great as Duncan.
He's my favorite character in the movie.
Yes, he's fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, I know, right?
But unfortunately, with this kind of adaptation and the length of the film and all that, certain characters do end up getting shortchanged.
Did he die?
He died. Yes, he died. He died when everything broke.
Okay, I'm assuming he died because it was just chaos and explosions. I'm assuming he died.
The bomb destroyed all the building structures, So, but I think there were two actors who were shortchanged. He is definitely one of them. The other one, unfortunately, was Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista as Beast Raban. Beast Raban being the parents' assistant. Fellow henchman. I felt he was wasted. You have such a great character, such a great actor there, yet he only has a few lines. He's just standing. I mean, he did this beheading stuff. He
did the beheading, but it would have been nice to see him in an action sequence.
But a little bit more. I think where this film kind of felt a little bit short for me is on these scenes with the villains. They still tend to be kind of stereotypical to me, if you know what I mean. I always hope that can there be a better way to portray villains instead of having them saying these kind of corny dialogue, like Dave Bautista say, "What about the Fremen?" And then and then the birds said, "Kill them all."
Right.
To me, that's kind of you know what I mean.
Cliche. It's cliche.
Exactly. Cliche was the word. I always hope that sometimes can there be a better way of presenting?
But don't sell the spice too quickly.
I know, exactly.
I was laughing at that, man. Raise the prices. I was laughing, dude.
Yeah.
Skarsgård's a trip, man.
Skarsgård is a trip. I like this.
Yeah.
I like the his appearance is definitely not as campy as the one in Lynch version. Lynch version is kind of like it's a parody. It's not menacing at all. And which brings me to another great point about this film. This film was very good in making the threat and the menace all present all the time. I like how threatening the enemy really was this time, as opposed to the miniseries and the Lynch version. The Lynch version, is almost like a parody. Like I said, it builds up the threat. I like how the threat was built up, and actually shows how bad they really are. Like when they attack.
I mean, this was a setup.
Yes, of course.
This was a setup, man, too, because the Emperor was like, all right, House Atreides again, a little big, too big for the britches.
Right.
We gonna set them up. That's how the Emperor talks in the movie.
Right.
I want the Atreides dead. I want them dead. I want their house burned to the ground. I want to piss on their ashes. The Emperor walks around.
Dead. I want him dead.
Yeah, the Emperor walks around with a baseball bat.
Right.
Right.
You brought up my point, because in this film, the Bene Gesserit were really presented as one of the main villains. Because remember, she was the one that kind of, the head sister played by Charlotte Rampling. She was really the one that kind of get this thing going about killing Paul. They were worried about Paul getting too much power and take.
I was kind of wondering, are they good or bad? Like, what is going on? You know what I mean?
Like in the Lynch version, they were kind of bad, but not as outright bad as here, where you can actually hear them plotting it along with the Harkonnen. I got to get used to saying Harkonnen because everybody, like, if you watch
Harkonnens,
because Lynch always called them Harkonnen. But in here you can tell kind of like that, which explains why they have Charlotte Rampling playing such a have such an important actress playing this the sister. Ben Gesserit's sister, because she's apparently one of the bad guys. She's in cohorts with the bad guys.
Yeah.
And this film would make it much clearer. I mean, the book made it pretty clear. The Lynch film, not as much. The Lynch film is almost like, the Guild Navigator wanted to kill them. Oh, we'll go along with that. But they're not the main people. They're not the mastermind. Here, it was presented as they're in cohorts with the Baron. So I find it very interesting. So that makes
she was making deals.
She was making deals.
She was like, yo, okay, look, because of the prophecy, all right, don't kill the mom and son, just exile them, do what you need to do. But
and this also create another
Poe Dameron, you can kill that motherfucker.
Oh man, Poe Dameron and Poe Dameron and Bruce Lee, you can kill Bruce Lee too.
What happened there?
I got my shit. Hold on.
Okay.
But I'm glad we talk about the Bene Gesserit system, because this brings up another interesting element which was not in the Lynch film. Remember, as the film progresses, more and more Rebecca Ferguson's character, like Jessica Atreides. Now, of course, Jessica Atreides is a major character in the book. So if you know the book, you know the story, you knew that she's going to be a prominent feature in the latter part of the film. However, because of the fact that her senior sister is plotting all this, you begin to wonder how much like does she know? That Jessica know? And also, there were certain scenes in the film which kind of makes you wonder, what exactly is she thinking, or what exactly did she have in mind? Remember all these scenes of her kind of looking, look, she's fantastic in the film. I think she was wonderful in the film. She's great. She stole the show. It really showed it. But there were several interesting shots of her, like her expressions, of her, like the way she reacts to stuff. Remember when Poe Cameron asked him, "Will you protect my son?" Right?
Yeah.
And she said, "With my life." Well, does she really mean it? With my life? I mean, we don't know. And then later on, to me, the most peculiar, here, like this scene of her walking. Like, what was she thinking? Right? What she had in mind? Is she going along with is she aware of the Bene Gesserit's plot, or is she? I mean, what is she thinking? We don't know yet.
Right.
I think that's one reason why she was cast, because she could play such a complicated character, just like she did in the Mission Impossible film. But then, to me, the most peculiar shot was later in the film when they, when they crash landed in the desert, and then they put, they switch into the Fremen suit. Remember, there was this interesting shot of her
The
looking
still
at her.
suits.
Well, yeah, the
Yeah.
still shoots, right? The still shoot, correct. So remember, there was that interesting shot of her looking at her son half naked, as
Yeah.
he put on the ship
Yeah,
suit.
that was a little awkward.
It was awkward. Is she aroused by her own son, or is she thinking, you know what? This is him at his most vulnerable. Maybe I should kill him. I don't know, or I'm just guessing. You know what I mean? So I don't know what she's had in mind. Why is she looking at him like that? And of course, we may not know until the next film. But I like this kind of mystery. I like how I like how Denise is putting stuff here to make you think.
Because I was asking that question too. I was just kind of like the Jesuit that the group that she's with. You know, what is their ultimate goal here? You know what I mean?
The ultimate goal is really to just make sure they don't extinct. I think they have this long heritage, 100 years, and remember, they felt that Jessica betrayed them because she bore them, a son. So they supposed to. I mean, the lineage is supposed to be all female. So now with the son coming to play, I mean, if I have to guess, I think Jessica is not going to kill his son. I mean, Jessica's not in this plot to kill his son, but I think she's probably going to protect him. But it just makes it fascinating because you don't know what she's thinking. You have all these shots of her, like that previous shot of her with all this thing. So I find that fascinating. I think it's great that I think Rebecca Ferguson was a perfect choice to play Jessica.
Really. She's a great actress, man. Like she's just really, really, really good. But yeah, I noticed in the fight choreography here, we had a little bit of an Excrema stick fighting type of style, which was
Roger Yuan was the choreographer.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him in the movie, and I was wondering what happened to him. I assumed he just died, but I was like, "Hey, it's Paper Tigers, man."
Yeah, Paper Tigers.
But it was cool to see him there. That makes sense. That's why the fight choreography was good. But yeah, I did like Brolin, and Momoa was great. He was really, really good. He's my favorite character in the film. And I even like this scene, when they're waiting to get the. I mean, look at this shot. Look at this shot.
Oh, thanks. Oh,
this
God.
Thank
you so much. Thank you so much for bringing this up because this is exactly what I want to talk about. Because
go for it.
The scale. Love the scale of the world with all these spaceships, especially the early parts of the film. Remember the early parts of the film, there are more shots of these gigantic spaceships within this landscape, right?
Yeah.
And so when you watch it, like especially in IMAX, it's just overwhelming, just huge. I mean, just huge. And the world building, absolutely staggering. The effects really look like they actually existed. I think you talk about it. Like this is a real world.
Yeah.
And the effects is like I think is the best convergence of live action and visual effects in the sci-fi film, really since Blade Runner 2049. Really, I mean, because it just make the world so believable. I mean, the Orinoco choppers, the dragonfly machine.
Yeah, I like those.
So real. That's just so real. I mean, like I said, this is definite Oscar contender for visual effects, for sound and cinematography. I mean, I have no doubt that this will win Oscar for at least visual effects and sound.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if it definitely gets nominated. But I like Josh Brolin's line, or what's called Leto. Duke Leto was like, "Why aren't you smiling?" Or he goes,
"I am smiling.
I am smiling." That's hilarious.
Yes,
but yeah, they get the orders to take from the Emperor to take over.
Yeah, very ritualistic. I like that a lot. Yeah,
no more Harkonnens. They have gotten the boot, and now House Atreides are taking over here. But yeah, great visuals, and I enjoy. Go ahead.
I mean, I just love how apprehensive they were because, like I said, this film, from the get-go, evokes this tangible sense of danger and dread, and especially once they arrive there. And once they arrive at Arrakis, remember, they first set foot. They were told that the city is "quote unquote" almost secure. So, like, the city is still under threat from the remnants of the Harkonnen armies, as well as the Fremens, right? So there's this ominous feeling of danger or threat, that's always around. So in a way, as an audience, you kind of become tense because you're wondering when is the next threat going to come.
Right.
Especially in like once they settle down, that scene with the needle thing, that all of a sudden just pop up and is going to kill Paul. So that's also in the lynching. But the lynch play a really slow. but here is really tense. Here all of a sudden the flying needle is introduced, and like
Yeah,
those
'cause
of
she
us,
was
yeah.
testing Paul. Yeah, yeah. And
Well,
and Jessica let it happen.
well, no, that's not. Yeah, no. I'm talking about not the box though, not the box part. I'm talking about
Okay.
once they arrived in Arrakis and Paul was in his room, that
Oh, I
needle, the
gotcha.
poison needle. Remember the poison needle?
Oh, yeah, and he had to
Popped in.
slam it up against the
Yeah,
wall.
slam
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
wall,
yeah, yeah.
and then he had to catch it and stuff, and almost killed the
Right,
French maid and all that stuff. So like it's that kind of danger that's lurking all the time,
right,
and much more prominent once the actual invasion began. So
right.
I
Yeah.
like that sense of dread, the sense of this ominous danger that's always lurking, ready to.
When Game of Thrones was good
Exactly. That's what I mean by this
before
Game
it
of,
went to
right.
shit.
So that's what I mean by the Game of Thrones 5 when I watched it. I think people who like Game of Thrones will probably really like this film because it will remind them of that kind of feeling from Game of Thrones.
The character on the right, I forgot his name.
I forgot his name too. I'm so sorry.
Okay, did he have a big role in the Lynch version?
No,
Okay,
no.
okay.
But I tell you who had a right up. I'll tell you the one major change in this film though. There was a gender change in the Fremen lady who helped them. What's her name? Lady Keynes, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This
Leah Keynes.
character.
Yeah, Leah Keynes. Okay, and I love how you see this. These are hints of what's going to come in part 2. Like for those of us who saw the movie and read the book, you would know
Right.
why she took those two little like a forklift
Well,
out.
Yeah,
It was
right.
for a reason. It was for a reason. Okay. What?
Well, like at the time, we'll get into it
Right.
later. But at the
Right.
time, I was like, "What is she doing?"
Right.
And then later, when it's revealed, I'm like, "Holy shit! Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Like, really? Is that what they're doing?"
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that when we
We'll
get
talk
to
about
it.
that. Yeah. But that's a major change though. In the book
Okay.
and in the Lynch. Okay, the book Leah Keynes, I'm sorry about my pronunciation, but this character was a male. He's a guy. He's
Okay.
a dude in the book.
Okay.
And in the Lynch film was played by none other than Max von Sydow, the great.
Oh.
The great.
He's a great actor. I'm a fan of him.
The great Austrian and
Yeah.
German actor who was in the Seventh Seal, right? It was the Seventh Seal,
Right.
the game chess.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Oh yeah, Flash Gordon. Yeah, Emperor the Ming, right? Ming the Merciless.
Yeah, Ming the Merciless.
Ming the Merciless.
Yeah.
So that was Ming the Merciless in the Lynch version. But here it's played by a female. She's great.
Okay.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
Again, you don't know whether she's on. You don't know which side she's on. Whereas
That's true.
In the Lynch version, you can pretty tell that Max von Sydow's character, it was pretty sympathetic to the Atreides. He kind of knew like, yeah, you guys on. You can sense in that film that you guys really don't want to be here. I get it. Yeah. But here, you don't know which side she's on until like the very last,
Right.
like the very last scene.
And I like that scene with Duke Leto and his son Paul, where they're walking.
Oh yeah.
Was that the graveyard they were walking?
Yeah, the graveyard, the past, the past
Right.
Atreides family.
And I like that scene because you totally get that Luke Skywalker vibe from Paul, and I like how Leto had Duke had to let him know. Look, I know you want to fly off in the sky in space and have your adventures, but look, I need you to think political.
Yep.
Already, Oscar Isaac's character Leto is just kind of like, this is a great honor, but something smells fishy
Of
here.
course, yes, yeah.
Is the Emperor trying to put us against the Harkonnens? Is there going to be a war?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
before,
right. Yeah, I mean, Wolfgang Peterson, the captain from Das Boot, played Duke Leto in the Lynch version, and he's good too. But I think Oscar Isaac really did a great job here. I think he was fantastic as Duke Leto. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I did want to see more Teast.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see Batista kick some more ass, which I'm sure will happen in the second movie. So,
Right.
was this character prominent in the original?
Sort of. Yeah, he's
Okay,
always by the
okay.
Baron's side. Yes, sort of.
Okay. So what did you think of this shot, this reveal of Vladimir?
Vladimir. I'll tell you what I think, and this is this and the previous shot of the spaceship, and actually like once they got to Arrakis, they really evoked German expressionism in these shots. it reminded me of a lot of the German expressionism you saw in the designs and the
Right.
look, especially like like Fritz Lang, like Metropolis.
Right.
Um,
Right.
like that, especially once they get the Arrakis with all like the color. I mean, like some people say, "Oh, this film has no color." Once you get the Arrakis, well, it's a desert planet, right? I mean,
Yeah.
sand. So there's no, there's all just sun. So there's no. I mean, what color would you like, from a desert planet?
Right.
And
Right.
but it revoked like once they get to Arrakis, and then once the movie plots along, I kept kind of like thinking, it's almost like I was watching a 1920s German expressionist silent film. It just reminded
Mm.
me of that kind of look, especially like after they, especially that shot, like there's this wonderful shot of them leave after they part away with the Fremen, right, and then they went to that the off-road chopper thing to escape from the army, which
Yeah.
where they just killed Duncan. There's this shot of
Right.
them running up, and then you see the dark, like they were running up in darkness, and as they ran up, you start seeing the outside, and it cuts to the next shot of that chopper there as they
Right.
ran towards it. To me, it's like, oh, this is just straight out of Fritz Lang. It's just
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I mean, just the homage of it. So I like
And
almost like both.
Metropolis is insane looking.
It's
Like
yeah,
I couldn't
Metropolis.
believe when I watched Metropolis, I
Mhm.
couldn't believe the visuals for that time, man. I
Right,
like
and I'm
blew
sure
I was like, what?
I know, and I'm
It was
sure
crazy.
Denise took some of the inspiration from that film. It's like
Yeah.
reminded me of like some of the architecture, some of the especially on Arrakis and some on Caladan too. It reminded me of Mobius. The
Right.
architecture, the Stark, the line, the Germanic, like very Deutsche kind of line, the hard line, and
Right.
so yeah. But
Right.
that shot of the Baron again, yes, I agree, Great Council. I
Oh,
absolutely
we got
agree.
Lunga in the house from the Grey
Mhm.
Council. Make sure you guys subscribe. Awesome channel. Thanks for popping in, brother. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie.
No, I do
Uh,
agree that yeah, yes. I mean, I think the last time people were that involved in watching a movie like in the theater, that's all it was Lord of the Rings. I agree, and that's 20 years ago. But
I know, right?
yeah.
Crazy, huh?
But
All
yeah,
right, let's
like I
keep it.
said, it was like Shot the Baron. The darkness, the starkness.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
reminding me of something Germanic. Like very German. So,
Right. 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 But yeah, just a beautiful looking movie,
yes,
man.
here
Like
too.
it's
Yes, yeah. I
just
mean, yeah,
insane.
that's the sand color. I mean, if you go to the desert, this is how they look. So you can't say, well, there's no color in this film. Well, that's not true. But it's just
Right.
being realistically portrayed. And again, like I said, I think the way
It's the
they
desert.
it's a desert. I mean, look, I mean, it's not like Greg Fraser didn't know how to use color. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Batman. The Batman, he
Right.
did the Batman. Look at
There's
this,
enough
exactly.
color in the movie.
Yeah,
There's enough.
but he did the Batman. He did Rogue One. I mean, Rogue One is colorful. It's beautiful. Rogue One has
Yeah.
beautiful cinematography. So yeah, no, it's just how and I think
So
the
this
way
I
they
did not expect. I did
Mhm.
not expect. Was it Dr. Yue?
yeah by Chen Chang, yeah, Zhang
Yeah.
Jin, yeah.
Yeah. He's great.
He
I did
he's
not
great
expect
again.
the
Mhm.
betrayal.
Yes.
Basically. Well, I mean, he had a reason.
Well, he has a reason for it. Yeah,
He had a
yeah,
reason. They had his
yeah.
wife. And they had his daughter too, or is this his wife?
Well, supposedly the wife has died already. Actually, I
Right.
think there was mentioning of the
Something like that. Yeah.
right, but yeah, but even though he said give me back my wife, and maybe he meant bring back her body or something. But the daughter
Right.
supposedly, but then
Right.
remember, and then the Baron said, well, you can join her, and so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess she's dead too. But again, Jiang Zhen's character here is also slightly underutilized. Again, he's a major character in the novel.
Okay.
Because again, he's kind of he had to play around with the Harkonnens because of the fact that they had his family. So yeah,
Right.
he get the betrayal, the attack going, and yeah, and in the Lynch film, he was played by a Caucasian actor. So it's kind of, if you think about it now, it's kind of laughable because in the novel, and it's obvious that he's of Asian descent. So
Yeah.
it's nice that they actually cast an Asian actor, and I love how he was speaking Mandarin to Paul Atreides, and then Paul responded in the perfect Mandarin, 什么意思?
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, that's great. Just
It's
like the way
authentic.
yeah, it's very authentic, the perfect Mandarin. But yeah, so I think that was good casting.
Yeah.
I wish we would have seen more of him. But
Right. Right.
yeah,
But yeah, once the betrayal went down, man, that was it. The shields were down. They were vulnerable, and then it was just chaos. And there's another shot of the Dragonfly ships, which were pretty cool.
Love the design. Yeah.
But yeah, just chaos, getting fucked up, and don't forget, our boys, our Harkonnens, they teamed up with the what would they call them, the Emperor's Blade or something like that, Blades of the Emperor.
Is it the Sardaukar army? Is that what you're referring to? Sardaukar army. Yeah.
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 Those dudes were bad dudes, man. But yeah, pretty great fight.
Right. They're supposed to be from the Emperor, right? Yes.
Called them the Emperor's Blades, I think, was their
nickname.
Right. Really good fight here. I like how it was shot. Fight choreography was really well done. And again, we had more interesting combat melee battles here with everyone with the shields and taking each other out. Doesn't go too well for House Atreides. They kind of get fucked up, and it doesn't go too well for Duke here. But I like the little sabotage plan. Keep the capsule in your mouth. You bite on it, you die, but just blow it towards our boy Vladimir and take him out. Fuck that guy. That was a pretty good plan.
And I love how they found him like hovering up on the ceiling.
I didn't know what I was looking at first.
Yeah,
because he was just like,
I know, because everybody's dead. Everybody's dead, and they thought everybody's dead. They thought even the Baron is dead. And lo and behold, he's up there in this fetal position, supposedly scared or something. But I think but supposedly he's also kind of poisoned because. Right. I mean, he turned on his shield. I was surprised that he has a shield too. I was very surprised, but I guess he was partially poisoned because, obviously some poison got into him. So that's why.
So he's gonna look fucked up in the next movie, basically.
Well, he will look
Vladimir.
like how he looks now, maybe.
I mean, more.
But then remember, he appeared afterwards, though. I mean, he came out from that black bath. The black oil thing. He just look all black. Maybe his face might have some poison.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. We'll have to find out.
Mm-hmm.
The mother and son get kidnapped for exile after Atreides gets laid to waste. And I like the whole, let's use the voice, son. Let's tag team, use the voice. Yeah. Fuck these dudes up.
Yep.
They end up crashing and kill him.
Yeah.
I like how Jessica was fucking dudes up too. We're not messing around now, man.
Yeah.
We can't be messing around.
That was in the Lynch version. I mean, in the Lynch version, Jessica was played by a British actress. I thought she was pretty good, but obviously,
all right, cool.
Ferguson's on a whole other level,
Right.
And I like how the film portrayed Paul. Here, initially, you notice that he's kind of passive. He does he doesn't look like a messiah figure. He doesn't look like he's some kind of a savior figure. Like Duncan saying you have no muscles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but then this and also this like I guess it's because of his age. He's really playing a young teenager, adolescent.
Right.
So you sense his initial disconnect of what he's like. I'm I'm not really connected to all this politics shit. I just know that I'm going to Arrakis and all that jazz. He doesn't want to be like inherited all this stuff. He doesn't want to become he doesn't want to take over his father just yet. He just along for the ride.
Even Chani was like doubting him.
Right.
Even she was just like, well, you're gonna die here.
Right, here. Exactly.
Let me give you this blade.
Because
you're not going to make it. Nice knowing you for 5 seconds. All right.
Right. And what I like about the film was the film allowed time for him to grow. It became more and more assertive as he progressed, especially once he and his mom was kidnapped. He's kind of taking over now. He's becoming, like you said, he started using the voice and stuff. So he coming into his own.
Yeah.
So I think I like how he was portrayed because by the last 10 minutes, you saw him making that little speech there. We're here, we're gonna stay. Because remember they said, you should go into exile. Hide somewhere, all that jazz.
Yeah, Jessica's trying to get off the planet.
Right. Jessica, he just want to protect the son. He said, no. I'm here. I'm meant to be here. The desert brought me here. I'm gonna, I'm gonna be your leader. I'm gonna help you fight the Harkonnens.
If you have me.
If you
still ask for permission,
Yeah, he's asking.
Oh, I forgot the scene with. I wanted more Javier Bardem in here. Bardem in here. I wanted more of him.
He's what's his name? Shingard, right? That's his character's name.
He is. Hold on, I got to bring
his name is Shingard. Hold on one.
Stilgar.
Stilgar. I'm so sorry.
Stilgar, yeah.
Yeah, Stilgar.
Yeah,
Oh, he's by far.
Stilgar. I was
Yeah.
dying, man, when he went to go have that meeting with the,
Oh yeah.
with,
Oh, I
with
love it.
the Duke.
Yeah.
And he
Spitting and all
spit
that.
down,
Oh,
and then they got all offended, and then Momo was like, "Thank you, Your Grace,
yeah.
for showing."
Yeah, your precious liquid.
Yeah, and they all spit back. That was hilarious. I was
Javier
busting up.
Bardem is fantastic in this film. I mean,
I wanted to see him more in this.
and he will be featured more because he is supposedly like the most senior member of the Fremen. And
right.
like you ask, like people say, oh, he was great in Skyfall. He was even good in the Pirates of the Caribbean. I love him here. I think
he's one of those actors where he's good in everything, even if the movie sucks.
Yes. Yes. And my feeling about Skyfall. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You know how Rick Myers feels. But anyway, so yeah.
Which we'll talk about Friday.
Oh boy.
This Friday.
Okay. But yeah, he was great in the Pirates film, the last Pirates of the Caribbean film.
Right.
Here, you know what he reminded me of? And again, we're gonna go into this theme eventually. He reminded me a lot of Omar Sharif in Lawrence of Arabia. The way he plays his character, he's almost like the Omar Sharif character in Lawrence of Arabia, kind of like a rebel Arab leader. He's just like that. Like the moment he walked in, he's like, "Oh, that's like Soba the." Oh, well, maybe some people say, "Well, he looks like Anthony Quinn," like Soba the Greek. But no, he
a little bit, yeah,
a little bit, maybe a little bit of Anthony Quinn, but more Omar Sharif, really. Yeah.
Right. But it's funny because sometimes Javier Bardem looks like Robert Downey Jr. mixed with what you call the guy who plays Negan.
Man.
Everybody looks like somebody. But I think the strongest scene for our character of Paul, for me in the movie, was when he flipped the fuck out when he started to see more and more visions of what the future could be. And he even remember when him and his Jessica were hiding, and he's like screaming at her, "You guys made me a freak! You made me a freak!" I was like, "All right, we're getting good now."
Yeah. When they were hiding, right? When they're hiding underneath the sand. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he sees, at first you think, oh, there's my future love interest, I think. She's smiling at me. All right. I think I'm getting in good here. And then when you look over the edge, oh, it's war. Holy shit. And I enjoyed that one take action sequence. That was really cool, man. I could have, me, Samurai Guy, I could have had a lot more of that. But the one take action sequence was dope. But look at his eyes.
Blue. Yeah.
They're blue.
Yeah, that's right. Eventually he became one of them. He drank the water of life. That's why.
Right. I needed to watch that scene again, but in the background is the worms are like helping the fight as well. They're like attacking the army.
Yes.
I was like, dude, what is going on?
No, that would that would be the major battle in part 2. Yes.
Now, what do you think is going on right here? This is still part of that same dream.
I think these are just the body of the dead soldiers or the dead Fremen.
Right.
Right.
And then we get that shot you were talking about.
Right. That he in this shot he think that he will be the next leader, the next Muad'Dib, the Shagadu. Right. But would it be the case? We don't know. And again,
we don't know.
His eyes are already blue.
But he was like freaking the fuck out, which was great. He's like, "What is this? You're making me see these dreams / nightmares."
Yeah, so it's like kind of like just like a typical teenage angst.
Yeah. But I mean, I wanted him to show some emotion.
Yes.
That's why I liked the scene, because he was kind of very timid the whole movie.
Right.
And I finally, finally he's showing something.
I think it's because he realized that his dad has died. It's just like, again, because by then, of course, Jessica with her sidekick knew that Leto is dead, but then now he also has his little sidekick because of the spice and stuff. So he also sensed that my father is dead. So now he has to take on the responsibility. He has to take over the ruling of Arrakis, as you know. But now, what he really
he's the Duke now.
He's the Duke now, exactly. He has the ring. He's a signet ring. So he has a signet ring. So he's the Duke, and also and it now goes beyond just like ruining Arrakis and making sure spice flows again. He
Right.
has to defeat the enemies now because he
Yeah.
knows the enemies want him dead.
Because they set all of them up
Right,
basically to get
right,
it, man. That was
right,
like
and right.
pretty good, really good planning from the Emperor, really.
And
But we got some really good action here. You know, we
yes,
got the
yeah,
what are they called again? The
Sarduka army, I think.
Sadukar, yeah.
Sarduka
I
army,
like
yeah.
how they kind of floated down.
Right, right, right.
They had
Yeah,
the same technology that made Vladimir float. Is
I
that
think
is
so. It was never explicitly stated. It could be just a suit, but him, yeah, because like if you remember watching the Baron, mm, you remember on his back, he saw something in his back, right?
right,
And
right.
in the shots of Vladimir, from seeing from his back, you see
Yeah,
there's some kind of like a clipping on his spine or something, which supposedly allows him to fly or float.
right,
So
right.
we don't know yet. I mean, maybe they would never explain it. Who knows, right?
But
So,
great scene. I mean, I didn't want to see Duncan die, but
mhm.
great action sequence for Momoa here.
And I like
Still,
how I
they
like
gave him a warrior's death, man.
right the Game Awards, and I also like how they show time because I remember um, when he first appeared, he has his beard, and then he had to go to Arrakis first, right? And
Right.
so months later, supposedly what 14 weeks, or they'll say like 14 weeks. I mean, a few months later, when they arrive, his beard has been shaved. So I like it kind of like a time pass thing. It's like showing you time pass. He has his beard before he went to Arrakis. Now that he's in Arrakis, it's probably fucking hot there, so he has to shave his beard. So yeah.
Right, right, right. All right. Got a Simon section here with a super chat. It goes, Master Remaster, why not call yourself Race Car 12, 12 21 21? What is that? Which is a review I'm looking forward to seeing you both hopefully do. You know, what's
He's talking
that?
about Matrix Revolution.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Because when
Hey,
Matrix
hey,
comes out, yeah, he wants to see us do this.
hey, if you want to review it with us, let's go. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I
review it
will.
with you.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Thanks
Put me
again,
on,
Simon.
man.
Thanks again for the
Thank
super chat,
you.
man.
Yeah. It took me a while to get it, and then I saw the date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So
right. Let's see here. Let's keep it going and rocking and rolling here. But yeah, they gave my boy Momoa Warrior's death. They said behind the scenes, you know, that little salute he does,
oh
right?
wait. The reverse. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Get
He's
the
that's
power.
he's doing that for the character of Paul, you know, which Paul
Right.
replicates at the end
Right.
because that was his friend. But
Right.
Momoa's every time Momoa does that in the movie, he's saying hello to his son. I
Really?
found that out behind the scenes
That's great.
because his son's training in Kali right now, and so they do the
Ah,
salutes in Kali. So he's like saying hello to his son at the
right.
same time.
Get the power. That's great. Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, let's keep it going here. But yeah, I really enjoyed this scene.
Yeah.
I could have used like 10 more minutes of it. But yeah, let's see what the future holds here. Let's see what the future holds.
And
And
like
what did you think of the Shai Hulud in this one compared to the David Lynch one in the 80s?
I look, considering the technology at that time, I thought the Shah-Halud in the Lynch version was actually quite well made,
Okay.
especially in the same scene where they go and check out the spice harvesting and then the worm attack. Um,
That was a good scene. I like that scene.
that was a good scene, but to me, that was the best part of the Lynch. I mean, to me, the Lynch version was actually equally good too, really equally
Oh,
good.
they did that in the
I like,
Lynch
yeah, I like
version.
this. Yeah, I really like that scene. Um, Here, of course, you have better effects,
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
shot, so you really can't compare. But the effect, the impact, they're both kind of similar. And like I said,
Right.
if you watch it, if you watch either version before, then you say, oh yeah, that line was in the other version too, that stuff. So, but
Yeah.
see, this is one thing I do feel that the Lynch version was better than this
Oh,
version in
okay.
one aspect, in one main aspect. Okay, this is
All right.
this is what I feel. Um, Again, this film was slow burn. Like you said, not a whole lot of action, and the
Right.
character takes time to establish.
Right.
But the thing is, the Lynch version is what Lynch was good at was he was able to establish the character very quickly in very short time. So if you watch the Lynch version, you right away know like what they are, what they do, You
Right.
know, Lynch is
There's
better.
Sting. I see
Right,
Stings in the movie.
Sting, which is not in this movie. Remember, Sting's character Fade is not
Yeah.
in this movie. So Lynch, I think Lynch is better at painting vivid sketches of the characters very quickly because he knew I only have 2 hours. I have so many characters. I have to make sure that people knew them, who they are right away, what they do. So so he spent very little time on establishing each character. But once the character showed up, you knew right away what the purpose in the film was.
Okay.
Here, I don't think Monsieur Villeneuve, does a particularly good job of introducing us to any of the side characters.
Okay.
You know, I
Okay.
like that's what I meant by some of the side characters getting sidetracked. Gurney,
Right.
definitely. Dr. Yui, I really wish we saw more of Dr. Yui. Beast Raban, obviously, they make very little impression. That's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
They're not as memorable
He
as
focused more on the main meat, the
right.
main
And
characters, except for
right,
the
they focus
side
more on
ones.
the main character, whereas in the Lynch version, the moment they show up, you already like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like like even Shani, like I said, Sean Young was Shani in the Lynch version.
Right.
She's almost like like a non-existent character in that film, but still
Right.
you remember her because it was Sean Young. It was Shani.
Right.
The way she stayed, that like the moment she was introduced, she just like she was about to like attack Paul, and she said, "I'm Shani," blah blah blah, and like you remember that.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
Sean Young, Harrison Ford's favorite actress.
so to me that was maybe my only disappointment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
compare to the Lynch version. That's it. Yeah.
Right. Copy that. Okay. Well, that's a very interesting. Very interesting. All right. So now our cast of characters, or at least Jessica and Paul, they have met up with the Fremen here,
Yes.
and they got Javier, and they're basically kind of put to a test.
Yes.
But since he got bested, this guy comes calling for a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
He tells what's his name again?
Oh,
Stilgar.
Stilgar.
He's like,
No, he's not Stilgar though.
No, I mean not Stilgar. He's calling Stilgar
Jamis,
out, is what I mean.
Jamis, right? Isn't
Right.
it Jamis?
Yeah,
Jamis.
Jamish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy who got killed was Jamis.
He calls him out. Yeah, Jamis.
Right.
He calls him out, and he's like, "Well, let's fight it out for who the next leader will be." And her champion comes forward, which is Paul, and does the salute that Duncan did.
There's a power.
Didn't he? I know. And I would have to say, though, even though as much as I enjoyed this film, I would have to say this was the weakest fight in the movie for me personally. I liked all the even his practice sequence with Josh Brolin was filmed and edited better.
Yeah, well,
all the fight combat scenes throughout this movie were shot well. They were edited well. They were very well done. I enjoyed them. Something fell off to me with this fight. I don't know why.
I think it's because of the way it was shot. I think in the practice fight with Gurney, for instance.
Yeah, it was good.
Like I said, it was like a kung fu shot. Like a kung fu.
Yeah,
It was shot at a wider angle, longer takes and stuff.
Right.
Here, it's just like a duel to the death, but it was shot very close up, very close, and also because of the light. Remember that scene is actually pretty dark because it's supposed to be sunset or sunrise or sunset, what have you. Sunset, I believe it was. I remember that scene before the final scene when you get to the Fremen area was really kind of dark. But it's obviously natural lighting is really like the golden hour, or what have you. But yeah, I mean, I think the fact that the lighting and the way it was shot really in the close up, more over closer distance, kind of make the fight less impactful. It's more animalistic, I think.
Yeah, which is fine. It was kind of something just fell off, but it didn't deter my enjoyment of the fight. I mean, this wasn't Snake Eyes level of bad shaky cam and edit and bad editing. You could still enjoy it, but something in comparison to the other fights that we've seen, especially this one. I thought that was a little bit underwhelming. But again, going back to where you're talking about how Paul's visions show a possible future, not what is actually going to happen.
Exactly.
I was like, wait a minute. This dude earlier, he saw this guy and they were friends.
Right.
He's like, I'm going
Exactly.
to teach you. I'm going to show you all the wisdom of the land, and you know, I'm going to be your little Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There you go.
You little shit. Listen to me. Let's you know. And then all of a sudden, he kills him. I was like, holy, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that coming. So that's very interesting.
I'll be a wax on, wax off master, right? I mean, yeah. But no,
that was very interesting.
That's actually one of the more interesting aspects of the film because Lynch didn't do that. Lynch showed his dreams and visions, and and then they turned out just like how he dreamt, but not here.
Okay.
Like you said, here in the dream, James was his mentor, right? Like like James was his teacher, his mentor, his Obi-Wan, you know.
Right.
But in real life, he's gonna kill him because to become a Fremen, you want to become a Fremen, you got to take a life of one of us, you know. So yeah, I like that part. I like that. That was
it caught me off guard. I was like, oh, there's the guy he's going to become friends with. Nope.
Yep. Nope.
Well, you're dead. All right, next. And then, like you were saying earlier, he joins him and Jessica. For now, according to this movie, they join the Fremen.
Right.
And our journey to the second chapter begins, and then we have our sequel bait set up here.
Right.
This is just the beginning.
Now, to me, this final like 15-20 minutes of the film, once they encounter the Fremen, to me, really reminded me of Lawrence of Arabia. Really reminded me of Lawrence of Arabia. I mean, you know, Denis, he always says he's a huge David Lean fan, and that he mentioned, like me, you know, Lawrence of Arabia is my favorite film of all time.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
Even like there's all these films that I love, of course. If you have to like just say one film, I'll say Lawrence of Arabia. And in many cases, this final 15 minutes of the film really reminded me of Lawrence of Arabia, not just because of the setting, it's just the way all the characters are lined out, and you have this conflict with the fight with James. And then at the end, when he got to the Fremen, and then we can now talk about the worm thing, right? I mean, the two forklifts was to anchor yourself on the worm. Right?
Yeah. Dude, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, because earlier I was like, what is she doing? What is she doing with those? And then, no, we riding the worms, goddammit. We gonna go riding. We gonna enjoy riding. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Riding the storm. Yeah, I mean, I actually love that shot that you just showed when she pulled out those forklifts. Like, oh God, this is gonna be great. And then she got killed. But that's gonna come later, you know. That's why he said there's the power to control the worms. That's the ultimate power.
So at some point, I know people are like, don't stop spoiling what comes in the books. I know. This is just for Samurai Guy. I'm sorry, guys. Do the worms fight eventually in the future chapters? That's all you have to tell me. Yes or no? No.
No. If by fighting you mean crushing people, then yes.
Well, yeah, I'm not martial arts.
Like
you worm style.
Like by fighting, you mean like this is the worm, okay?
Yeah, smash.
Yes, then they fight.
Okay. So, because the ones that are riding them, do they control them, or they're just hanging out?
No, they control the worm.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, they control.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's why. Like there's two tests. Really, there's two tests for you know. I mean, well, I'm just talking about the Lynch version in the movie.
Right.
Supposedly there will be two tests for Paul. He has to drink the water of life. Okay. So that you become really truly become a Fremen.
Okay.
The second part is he has to control a worm. He has to.
Okay.
He has to try and tame like a rodeo thingy. He has to.
And this is in the Lynch version.
Yes, in the book.
Okay, I gotta. I don't know, man. This movie's making me want to watch the Lynch version.
Yeah, but then you will find out what happened at the end. But then who knows what? I mean, I'm pretty sure Denis will be faithful to the book, which Lynch was also.
So I should still wait. I should wait for the next movie.
I highly suggest that.
Okay. I'll wait.
But we don't know how long the wait is going to be. But like I said, this movie was best served coming in cold. You know, not having seen not having read the book, not having seen the Lynch version and the miniseries, and I think you get the most enjoyment out of it. But yeah, I mean, to me, the final part actually was the part that that it became kind of interesting for me because it reminded me so much of Lawrence of Arabia when they got to the Fremen. You saw the sun comes up, and then
Yeah.
he saw the guy controlling the worm and thought, wow, this is great, this is great. And of course he chose to end it there, which
Right.
but it's still the funny thing was, even though that was kind of a cliffhanger, so to speak, you
Right.
still
Right.
felt that the film was kind of complete. It ends
For
on the
that
right
chapter,
note.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
ends on the right place. It's not like leaving you hanging. It's
Right.
just like it makes you think, oh, I want to find out more. Now I want to find out what happened to Paul, what happened to
Yeah.
Charlie, what
Yeah.
happened to the Fremen. But it's not like, oh man, don't stop right here. Don't
Right.
do a desolation or smoke here. Oh man, that was the worst. The worst cliffhanger. I'm telling you, the worst cliffhanger. It's like you tell me I have to wait a year to see whether the smoke will actually burn down the village,
I
man.
know.
It's like,
I
God,
know.
man, that was so. I mean, it was a great ending, but it's also like the worst cliffhanger. If you know what I mean,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to wait that.
Especially since the beginning was like, oh, okay, we're just
Yeah,
gonna wrap up Smaug there in the
yeah, yeah,
next
yeah, yeah,
movie.
yeah. And
Oh,
then
really quick before we rate this,
okay.
I just this comment amused me, so I'll let you answer this question. What was
Oh,
that spider dog
oh,
creature?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was just one of it wasn't one of Baron's pets.
Okay. He's just a pet.
Right? And they
Okay.
say, and somehow they say, oh, he understands because that was in the scene where the Bene Gesserit went to see the Baron, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and then they
Yeah.
were worried that they were saying that, oh, the creature wouldn't understand what you said, and then somebody you can hear in the voiceover, oh, it understands what you said, which is why she stepped into that light and talked to the Baron instead, because then
Right.
the people outside
They can't hear.
couldn't
Yeah.
hear it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the light tends like serve as kind of a shield, a barrier,
Yeah.
sound
Yeah.
barrier.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what that creature is. I like that little mouse creature, that little desert mouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't make-
I'm probably going to see him that little thing, and maybe in the future,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, maybe it's a
All
surprise.
right. All right. But
Okay.
yeah, that was a little adorable little thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, overall, man, I was entertained. Definitely. It's not for everyone.
It's not definitely not.
Chat. Samurai Guy's gonna rate this, but I just make sure. I just want to make sure everybody understands this is not for everyone. Again, earlier, people have said they fell asleep like 8 times watching it. It took them a week to finish.
No.
This
This is
is
not
not
Shang-Chi,
for
guys.
everyone.
This is not MCU.
This is slow. This is not MCU. This is not Michael Bay Transformers. Okay, this is slow burn traditional sci-fi.
Yep, traditional.
Okay, no
That's the
glowy
perfect.
no glowy sticks.
Right,
All
right. No,
right.
that's the perfect description. This is David Lean type of storytelling. Exactly.
Yeah.
Traditional. Yes.
Yes. So remember, Samurai Guy has an open mind. I can enjoy slow burn where there's barely any action, nothing's happening, and I can enjoy good old fashioned schlock and Miami Connection, baby. Ha ha. I wonder if I'm the only guy in the world that has a Miami Connection poster. But yeah, let's go ahead and have fun with this. And I will go first. I will rate it first, Frank.
Okay.
You know how we do here. Out of 5 stars, 3 here on the channel is average. So you can go 3.2, 3.5, up to 4, and go. That's how we do it here. So 3 is average. Frank Djeng, the master of remaster. What are you giving Dune?
This is a tough one because, very few films make me keep thinking about it after I've seen it, and I have to be honest with you, I'm still thinking about this film after I watch it. So
Yeah,
that tells me that is a great, that is a proof of a sign of a great
it
film.
stayed with you.
It stays with me
Yeah,
exactly, and rarely has recent film has stayed with me like that. So.
right.
But like I said, there were some, minor issues. Again, like some side characters were, sidetracked, and I just felt that, and again, it kind of leave you sort of hanging because it was just first part of the story. I blame Warner Brothers more than Denise.
Yeah.
So I was thinking it was between 4.5 and a 5. I think I'm going to settle with 4.5.
Okay, 4.5 out of 5
Yeah.
for Frank Djeng. All right, what's the Samurai Guy gonna rate the movie? I did want more Josh Brolin, and you're right. Like once he, like I had to ask you, he did die, right? Like I didn't even know what happened. I assumed he died because we didn't see him anymore.
Right,
But I don't, it did suck because I really enjoyed him. I did want to see more of him. Momoa, that's my boy. He's my favorite character in the movie. I didn't mind. I didn't want to see him die, but they gave him a badass warrior's death. That scratched the itch, so I'm okay with that. It would have been. Samurai Guy would have had problems if he tripped over his foot and stabbed himself on the way down. I would have had problems with that if that's how they had Duncan go out. But yeah, we needed more teased. This character, does this character get down in future installments of the books?
Not really. He's more of
No?
he's really more of a henchman of Baron's. Yeah.
Okay. So don't expect.
Yeah, which is why I'm in a way kind of like surprised that he was, he cast Dave Bautista, which I can only assume that he may be more brutal in the next film.
Yeah, let's go. You can revamp it.
Yeah.
He was decapitating people. So hey,
right. And also maybe because he was so good in Blade Runner 2049 that Denis figured I want him again. So.
There you go. That's probably what happened with that too. I enjoyed Timothy in the film. I was not blown away by his performance, but I think that's the point. I think he's supposed to be. He's not this level yet.
Exactly.
He's not God level yet. He's not this yet. He's still timid, learning, young.
But right here, you always see the confidence in his eyes by this point in the film.
Yeah. So I want to see him go off a little bit more and be a little bit more commanding in the next installment.
I think seeing him mature will be probably one of the best rewards of this film. Like seeing him graduate.
Yeah. And I have a feeling if the I'm avoiding the rating here. All right, here we go. Let me rate it, and then we can keep talking. Samurai Guy's gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, baby. There we go.
All right.
Okay. I was borderlining on a 3.9, which is still good. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, especially since, I wasn't bored. I could see people. I understand people who were bored and were like, ugh. I get it. I understand. But for Samurai Guy, I wasn't bored. I didn't fall asleep, and I was interested in what's happening.
Exactly.
And for the most part, I can understand. And for a casual to Dune, that's pretty impressive.
Yes,
Great soundtrack.
Right.
Beautiful cinematography. Special effects are amazing. And when there was action, I was satisfied with the combat. I enjoyed it. I actually am excited for another one. Let's go. We need it.
Oh yeah,
we need another one.
Bring it on.
They don't fuck it up. And here's the thing. If this next installment is even better, that may make me go back and like this movie more.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
And the way I was kind of disappointed at the end because, remember we saw that shot of the Fremen riding the worm. I was hoping he would just give us this money shot at the end of they walked there and they saw not just one Fremen riding the worm, shitloads of Fremen riding all these worm army and stuff. Which I know that he's probably gonna save it for the final assault, right? The final attack. Which is why he only showed one dude, riding the worm. But
right.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, why can't you do alone? Why can't you just do me
like a long panning shot of everyone? That would have been dope.
Just give me a lean money shot at the very end. I sat here, I watched this for the past 2 hours and 40 minutes. Give me just one David Lean money shot where you see this whole grand vista,
right?
All these Fremen army, everybody with the worm. But then I understand because he's supposed to train them. He has to train them.
Okay.
He has to train them with the use of sound.
Okay. Oh, nice. So we get a little almost like Aquaman action a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly because the weapons are not enough to fight the Harkonnens and the Sardaukar. They have to use sound.
Right.
That's why.
Let's go. Revenge. The Emperor done fucked over the Atreides line. It was a setup.
I know.
They set them up, took everybody out. Let's go. Revenge.
We got to avenge Paul Cameron. God damn it.
Let's go. Yes. Avenge Poe Dameron from The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Right. And also note the armor suit he's wearing. That's from the Starter Army, I believe, or some other army. I don't think this is from the Fremen. So
No.
something's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
it looked a little golden.
Right. So something's going to happen eventually that led to them having this kind of armor suit. Yes.
Right. And you notice they kind of popped up during that battle scene. They popped up out of the desert and ran. They were like hiding, waiting for the sabotage. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Riding the worms, attacking motherfuckers, crushing them, using the force. I'm sorry, the voice.
Yeah.
Use the voice. Fuck some dudes up. Revenge.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That sequence is actually, to me, the most David Lean sequence of the film. Like you mentioned, the dream sequence when they popping on the sand and stuff. Yeah. That's like David Lean right there. So.
Yeah.
So anyway,
let's go.
Yeah. So like I said, for those of you who, if you still want to, if you're interested, you saw the film, you're interested, I mean, do by all means go back and see the Lynch version. I mean, I do like this version. Campy or not, I mean, the last.
I want to watch it, man. I don't know if I can wait.
The last third of the film, David Lynch really got sabotaged by the producer who wanted more action and shit. But I think the first hour is really like your classic Lynch.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, now that I know these characters from this movie, I've been introduced to them.
Right.
I'm gonna recognize them in the old one.
Exactly.
And it's on HBO Max as well, so I can pop it in.
The Lynch version.
Yeah. So I can watch it there. Yeah. That's it. We're doing another review of this.
Okay. Sure. But then, like I said, read the book. Yeah, get the latest version with the movie poster. This is good, but the latest version has the movie poster image, and I also bought it because I love this book. And if you really want to know more about the art, the production design of this movie, get this book, The Art and Soul of DUNE. Okay, this is a fantastic book with tons of pictures.
Did Roger do something with that?
No, Roger Deakins, you mean?
Yeah.
No, Roger Deakins is not the cinematographer. I think.
Okay.
I think there was some kind of a schedule conflict, which that's why Roger couldn't do this film.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I think
let's take a look at it.
Yeah, but Greg Fraser is fantastic. You see, like these gorgeous, like these pictures and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and let's see what else. Yeah. So you see these spaceships. And, this is the actual cover.
All right.
Yeah, but this is a fantastic book. Unfortunately, the prices has gone up now in Amazon. I think it's double like how much I paid for this. I pre-ordered this. I paid like $30 for it.
Why is the price gone up?
Every time I get out of stock, they tend to go up. So I would just say, keep checking, wait till it's in stock and order it.
Right.
$30. Right now it's like $59.99 because it's out of stock. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, brother, this was a blast.
Yeah.
This was a blast having you here. Always an honor having you here on the show. Got the legend, Frank Djeng, hanging out with the Samurai Guy. And yes, Andre, yes, Poe Dameron, Aquaman, and Cable must be avenged. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what's funny, Frank, is that this week's kind of become a sci-fi week in a way, which is not planned. It's just kind of how things are tipped. So we kick it off with Dune.
Right.
And tomorrow, guys, you don't want to miss this. Tomorrow, me and Radical Reggie are going to be talking. See, you've got the yin and the yang on the channel. We got this open mind, right? So we got the yin and the yang. So we got Dune. Tomorrow, baby, we going to yang it up with Lady Terminator. Yo, you guys going to have to be here. Hang out with me and Radical Reggie tomorrow. We're going to be talking Lady Terminator. Still sci-fi, keeping it sci-fi. And this Thursday's Versus, if you're not a channel member, you're going to have to wait till it's scheduled and announced. Both horror-related movies that are going to be going head-to-head. These are big ones. They're both amongst the sci-fi horror realm. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. This has become sci-fi week in a way.
And then we're doing our little thing on Friday, too, right?
Yes, and Friday we're doing James Bond filmography discussion, which is going to be fun. We're going to go through all the movies, talk about what we liked and we didn't like, and we'll give our favorites too, like our number one out of all of them. I think that'll be fun.
Join us, Miss Moneypenny. Join us.
Yes. Oh, Mike. The question is, what will Vincent Lin be wearing? It's going to be Sean Connery related. He's going to represent. He's going to represent OG.
But maybe he'll dress like Stardust.
That'll
be nice.
Maybe Zardos. Zardos.
You know,
Oh my God, where's that remake?
I know.
The Denis Villeneuve remake of Zardoz. There you go. That's what everybody wants. Let us know we're going to end it now. So those of you that are just now popping in watching, let us know in the comments below what you guys thought of Dune, and rate it out of 5 stars. 3 is average. I want to read your ratings, and join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time, hanging out, and Thursday, 6 p.m. and oh my goodness, I forgot one more. Wednesday at 11 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
We have, I know, we
man.
have martial arts action actor extraordinaire Alain Delabie, all the way from France, going to be hanging out with us, talking with us, 11 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday. So a busy week, a lot of fun, a lot of badassity, and we see you guys next time.
Go see Doom. If you want to see part 2, you got to go see it in the theaters, guys. I know it's on HBO Max. But please, if you guys want to find out what happened to Shawnee and Paul and Jessica, you got to go see it in theaters. Support the film. Please support great sci-fi filmmaking. This is great sci-fi filmmaking. Go see it in the theater. You will not be disappointed.
That's right. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting Transformers: The Last Night, or whatever the fuck that movie is called.
I love that film.
Yeah, you do like that movie. Hey, you have your schlock? I have my schlock. There you go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And we see you badasses next time. Get the spice, Frank! Sell the spice!
He is the mind killer.